Hello, everyone. It is me, All Political, with Fixed Audio. I forgot to give a shout out to somebody, as requested, because they subscribed to my channel. I'm going to give a shout out to Dragon Egg Breaking. He is a moderator on a Discord channel in which I am part of. So there you go. Hello, Dragon Egg. Nice to see you, my fellow Bulgarian enthusiast. Anyway, let's continue on with the show. I wanted to talk about this little post that my lovely commander-in-chief decided to make today that freaked everybody out. I'm just going to read out loud for those that are just kind of listening. So, from Donald J. Trump. I think this is a true social post. Iran should have signed the quote-unquote deal I told them to sign. What a shame and a waste of human life. Simply stated, in all caps, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Period. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. There it is, folks. Now, this last little part of this tweet, everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran, is not an indication that they're going to fucking nuke Tehran. Whoever is suggesting fear-mongering that this stupid-ass idea that they're going to nuke the capital of Iran obviously doesn't understand what's actually going on. Or it doesn't care and just wants to get clicks, obviously. What's actually going on is Trump is just repeating what Israel has been putting out to Iran. Hey, everybody in Tehran should be evacuated. We can't tell you why, but you should probably evacuate everybody in Tehran. So, obviously Donald Trump caught on to that, and he just kind of repeated the message for whatever fucking reason. I don't think Israel is insane enough to nuke the capital of Iran without provocation. There's no reason to use a nuclear weapon in Tehran. There's no reason to use a nuke, period. The war is not devolved to that level. I'm pretty sure they're just going to continue conventionally bombing the shit at each other long range. So, that is clarified. They're not going to fucking nuke Iran. Stop saying that. Stop spreading that sentiment. It's not going to fucking happen. That's so stupid. Oh my god. But you know what? If I'm fucking wrong, oh my fucking god, we are all going to die. But I don't think I'm wrong. This is so stupid. So, now that's out of the way. Also, why the fuck is the White House putting this out? This is not appropriate. Anyway, I scroll down the lovely comments of X.com. And I was scrolling down, a lot of nonsensical stuff, a lot of nonsensical bullshit, the things that just don't really relate to what's actually getting posted about here. I found this. And this is interesting. U.S. intelligence says Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. Oh! Okay. Well, I didn't know that this is the thing. So, the annual threat assessment said that there's no evidence that Ayatollah Ali I don't know how to pronounce that, has reversed his ban on producing nuclear weapons. So, U.S. intelligence agencies have reaffirmed that there's no evidence Iran is developing nuclear weapons or that Iranian Supreme Leader Ali has reversed his 2003 fatwa that banned the production of nuclear weapons of mass destruction. Okay, I'm like, oh, is that a real news article? So I did a Google Lens search on this, and I found the article. Nope, not positive. Alright. Here it is. They're not building a nuclear weapon. U.S. intelligence agencies have reaffirmed there's no evidence that Iran is developing nuclear weapons. They have not changed their stance on this. It is still kind of taboo to them. IC continues to assess that Iran is not building nuclear weapons. And this is a quote from Tulsi Gabbard during a Senate Intelligence Committee hearing back in March of this year. So this was based upon an annual threat assessment, which was released by ODNI. What is ODNI? is ODNI. Also, the Director of National Intelligence. Okay. So, big intelligence thing. All U.S. intelligence agencies. The report did note that there have been more calls inside Iran to reverse the ban on nuclear weapons, which have grown in response to Israeli aggression in the region. So, overall, from this, apparently, we knew back in March that we put this out in public under oath to the Senate and a Senate Intelligence Committee hearing. Hey, we have there's no indication that Iran is building nuclear weapons. They're moving towards it. Like, it's still taboo, but again, there have been more calls inside Iran to reverse the ban on nuclear weapons, which have grown in response to Israeli aggression in the region. So the only thing that has changed their stance on nuclear weapons, or even like kind of even think about it, is Israel and Gaza. That is it. So, and they haven't actually physically done anything to develop their nuclear capabilities. Here's the thing: people forget that we have, as the United States, the greatest intelligence network on the fucking planet. We have things out there that nobody could even fucking imagine. There's this thing that I found on a conspiracy subreddit at one point. It was about a Sentry program where they have these satellites that can see everywhere 24/7 all across the planet, down to like a meter resolution per pixel, and they have picked up like legit like UFO shit. But that's getting like way out of like the topic here. But still, we have intelligence gathering capabilities that are known, that are open source, that we know of, where you can probably guess like, yeah, we probably have a really, really damn good idea whether or not Iran is developing nuclear capability. Because you cannot do shit on this planet without the United States knowing about it. If you do it above ground or below ground, where you transport shit from place to place, we have the tools, we have the computation, we have the satellites, we have the drones to determine, this is starting to shift in this direction for this particular program. It looks like Iran is starting to buy certain types of materials at a slightly higher rate than normal. We can just do it through statistical analysis, and there's zero indication that this is happening. None. So the greatest intelligence apparatus on the fucking planet has already determined that Iran is not building nuclear fucking weapons. So that goes into this, where even CNN right now, published June 13th, has already reported on this, like right here, including the U.S. Intelligence Committee says Iran nuclear program isn't currently weaponized. And it's not just currently weaponized, they're not making any progress towards weaponization. And Tehran is also imperially insisted not building a nuclear bomb. It's not just that Tehran has insisted, the United States intelligence apparatus, the government has said no. They're not doing it. So I'm just wondering where Israel is getting this information from, that Iran was about to build 15 nuclear fucking weapons. Or was it 9? Oh, I don't know. Because they keep on mixing up their fucking numbers. They can't get their numbers goddamn straight about how many nuclear bombs Iran was about to build. So, who's telling the truth here? I'm going to put it on the United States, who is saying, nah, we're not going to get involved in this war, and which has already stated publicly, hey, they're not building nuclear weapons, because, oh my god, if Iran was moving towards building nuclear weapons, you know for a fact that we would use that as an excuse to fucking get involved in another goddamn war in the Middle East. You know that for a fucking fact. You and I know that for a fucking fact. I'm cursing a lot, but if the United States has said no, if we are straight up denying Israel aid, comfort, or assistance in regards to their attacks on Iran and their calls for help in stopping Iran's nuclear program, what does that say about Israel? what does that say about who's actually in the right here? Who's actually telling the truth? I think for once the United States is actually in the right here because that's just the truth. Iran was not about to build nuclear weapons. We've known that for months. But suddenly, because of this nuclear deal, because it didn't go as planned, Israel freaked the fuck out of nowhere and decided, oh my god, Iran's about to build a bunch of nuclear weapons. They've been saying that for fucking 2 decades now. So, this goes into my next thing, though. This is the juicy part. I was like, wait, so Israel's freaking out about Iran getting their hands on nuclear weapons and producing any enriched uranium whatsoever. Like, it's pretty obvious they don't want Iran to have a nuclear industry, period. Because Iran was nowhere near building a nuclear weapon. The United States knows this, but Israel is freaking out anyway. And we already covered that in the previous video as to probably why they're freaking out, because now Iran has a bunch of dirt on them. But there's this, which just so happened to coincide with everything else that's going on. So, but apparently back in May, this was reported on by AP. Saudi Arabia wants the U.S. to help develop its own civil nuclear program. Now, mind you, Saudi Arabia has already signed on to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. So this is a little weird. And the Trump admin apparently is very excited at the prospect of maybe developing a homegrown nuclear enrichment program in Saudi Arabia and just a nuclear energy program in general. So apparently there's fears that helping the Saudis fulfill their long-standing desire to enrich their own uranium as part of that partnership would open new rounds of nuclear proliferation and competition. Saudi Arabia's pursuit of nuclear agreement is likely to play into the ever-evolving bargain on regional security issues involving the U.S., Iran, and Israel. So, Energy Secretary Chris Wright said the world can expect to see meaningful developments this year on helping the kingdom build a commercial nuclear power industry. The U.S. was very excited about it. No breakthroughs. There will be a lot of ways to show progress towards an agreement on Saudi nuclear program without fully committed to a partnership on it. Okay. So, you see this timeline, right? Back in March, U.S. intelligence, like overall intelligence community, came out and said, "Hey, Iran is not trying to build nuclear weapons still. But they have a nuclear program, still chugging along, but they're kind of maybe thinking that Israel's a threat, and that may change their sentiments a little bit. But again, there's no steps being taken." Come May, and the United States is starting to talk with Saudi Arabia about developing their own nuclear enrichment program over there. That's weird. Isn't Saudi Arabia a state sponsor of terrorism, or at least used to be? Why are we talking about developing nuclear enrichment shit with Saudi Arabia out of all countries? And then a week ago, it's reported that Iran stole a shit ton of intelligence information from Israel, and it went unconfirmed for a couple of days. And then right as these nuclear talks got to their last day, Israel conducted a preemptive strike saying that Iran had suddenly developed the capability to possibly build up to 9 to 15 nuclear weapons. They're days to weeks away, but then Netanyahu also came on and said they were weeks to months away. Something's not right here. I don't know what the connection is, but something doesn't feel fucking right here. I also don't like the calls for regime change from Israel. If this is about potential nuclear power shit for the future, because that's going to be the next big thing relating to powering artificial intelligence systems and data centers, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed, man. This, why? Why is this necessary? Why do we need to bring down Iran to make sure that Saudi Arabia gets their fucking cut for uranium enrichment? Like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know what's going on, but obviously, you know for a fact that there's something going on here. Iran's not building nuclear weapons. Hey, we're thinking about developing Saudi Arabia's nuclear enrichment program. Iran steals a bunch of intelligence on Israel. Israel preemptively strikes Iran, targeting their nuclear facilities. Maybe something going on there? I don't know. Again, this is just an update. This is the rabbit hole I'm going down. But again, there's nobody else making these connections, nobody else talking about this. And I'm here to just, speculate, put it out into the wind, dig a little bit, sow some discord and discontent, be a little conspiratorial, think outside the box. And yeah, it's really interesting. Really interesting. I wonder what's going on with Saudi Arabia and their nuclear shenanigans, and why now? Why now? Saudi Arabia and the Trump administration are fucking buddy. You know that for a fucking fact. So why now? All right, I think I'm done here. Gotta drink my protein. Dude, Fairlife is the fucking bomb, by the way, and that is not sponsorship. This shit is like only 150 calories, but it's got like 30 grams of protein, and it's like really tasty. It doesn't make me break out, even though if I drink milk, I break out. Like, this stuff is good. Shit's good. I drink like 2 of these a day, if not more. And at the commissary that I go to, it's only like $21, $22 for a 12-pack, so really, really cheap for the amount of protein that I got. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do my history homework, which I have to watch a bunch of videos on, and hopefully I entertained you a little bit. Hopefully this wasn't too long and drawn out. Hopefully my audio is of sufficient quality that you don't find me aggravating to listen to, especially those of you on your mobile phone, which apparently, everybody that clicks on my videos, like half of you are like watching this on your phone. Is those damn phones. And like all right, I'm at like 18 minutes. I gotta get going. I gotta do my homework. I may do another video on this little rabbit hole that I'm going down after I talk with ChatGPT about this for a couple hours. I something there. I can almost taste it. Yeah. Anyway, if you found my video awesome, go ahead, like, or subscribe. If you found my video terrible, dislike it. I would appreciate that. There's going to be a couple playlists over here, and I already pointed out the subscribe button. So yeah, all right, that's going to be it, guys. Again, I'm all political, and I hope you have a wonderful night and enjoy my little cat here. Bye.